What's up guys, welcome to the channel. It's the Diesel Viking here, and in today's video I'm just going to be giving a little bit of a review on the Tourist Bus Simulator for the PS5. Now, I know that this game is a PC port, you know, it's come over to consoles, and I've been playing it for a little while now, and I just want to give, you know, a few thoughts and opinions based on my experience so far, really. So you could call it a review in progress. Now, straight away, visually, the game is a bit more impressive compared to their previous titles. It's using the Unreal Engine 4, so things are looking a little bit more crisper. You know, the gameplay itself runs a little bit smoother, and yeah, just overall visually, it's pretty impressive for the developer anyway. But yeah, we'll continue our little route here. So, my overall impression straight away. Let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff. You know, the AI. Now, the AI are a little bit more behaved than, you know, previous titles. I know the developer, you know, they're not very renowned for their AI, and that is something which I will touch on straight away. So, the AI, they're more behaved. You do get instances where they, you know, they don't really know which direction they're going in. You'll get one vehicle waiting, and then that vehicle will wait for that vehicle, and they're just at a standstill, you know, they don't go anywhere. So that's the only real sort of issue that I've come across in my experience so far. Everything else to do with the AI, you are able to control the vehicle density in the settings menu, so that's definitely something that's a nice feature. You know, if you struggle with too much AI and stuff, it is adjustable, so that is a really nice feature that they've implemented. Now, as far as general gameplay goes, there is an awful lot of variety that you can choose for these buses, buying buses, you know, different services, shuttle services, all that kind of stuff. And the routes you know, they're like short, medium, long. You know, you get all of the general sort of things that you would expect from a busing game, essentially. Now, the buses, they handle okay. You know, it's not too much of an issue. I find that they drive quite pleasantly, actually. There's a few things that could be improved upon, but overall the foundation for what they have is pretty solid. You know, in terms of how they handle and everything like that, there's no real complaints regarding that. Now, the one thing I will touch on is the sun rays. So when the sun is low in the sky, you get absolutely blinded. There's nothing you can really do about it. Some of the coaches and buses, they come with a little sun visor, so you can, you know, bring it down, but it doesn't really do an awful lot. You still get that intense glare, so that's definitely something that they need to improve upon. But I mean, overall, it doesn't take away, you know, your experience or enjoying the game. Now, I'm going to get into a few little bugs here and there, because I know this game is new, but there are a few issues which still reside within the game which need to be addressed. Now, the passengers, their animations are so inconsistent, it almost feels as if they're doing a Houdini on you. Okay, so they poof in and poof out. You know, the animations for them definitely needs a lot of work, especially for the immersion side of things. You know, you really need that element of the game to be looking at least somewhat acceptable, and currently at the moment it is not. You know, it definitely needs a few tweaks and a polish up for sure. Now, wheel support. You know, this game does support wheels. I currently use the Logitech G29, and so far I've had no problems with it whatsoever. The force feedback is a tad bit light, or should I say a tad bit heavy, but I mean, other than that, the wheel works fantastically. You know, I'm glad that they incorporated it back into the game, and it's running as smoothly as it is. You know, in comparison to some other titles that, you know, you may have played from the same developer, wheel support is definitely one of those controversial topics. So it's really nice to see that, you know, it's been incorporated relatively soon, and, you know, we haven't had to deal with any of that. So, you know, that's another bonus. As for the other bugs which reside in the game, like I say, it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's a bit hit and miss. There are people out there that experience different bugs at different times, or they are experiencing different technical issues, and some, like some others, aren't. You know, so definitely take that into consideration. You need to keep that in mind, that there are issues that reside within this game that cause, you know, you save data to corrupt, you know, you lose your game saves, all that sort of stuff. So keep that in mind when it comes to purchasing this game. So far I haven't actually experienced that myself, so I can't really go too far in commenting on that, but I am aware that it happens. So, you know, just keep that in mind, that it could potentially be something which happens to you, but hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully they continue to improve upon this game, and it gets ironed and polished out later down the line. Now, I'll give you an example here. So I'm pulling into the bus stop. Now you'll see that the passengers, they don't work flawlessly. You'll see that they're sliding there. So that's what I meant about the animation for them. It definitely needs a little bit of a tweak. Early game I had an issue where the game prompted me to pick up passengers, and the passengers weren't there at all. I had to basically restart my game in order for them to appear. Now, stuff like that really shouldn't happen. So this game does need a few quality of life improvements. You know, not to say that it's a bad game, because it really isn't, but there are a few, like I said, there are a few issues which reside within this game which could make or break it for most of you. Now, for the selling point, you know, I mean, £25, you know, I mean, you can't really argue that for the hours that I've got out of this game. I've definitely enjoyed every second of it, even with the little issues and bugs that were you know, currently present. Now, there is a new update today, and that update has fixed a luggage issue where you weren't able to, you know, get your you'd go over to one of the passengers, and, you know, you'd accept their ticket, etc., but they wouldn't board the bus. They would just sit there. So that's something that has been improved upon and changed recently. So it's nice to see that this game is definitely going in the right direction, and they seem to be working on it actively. Now, in instances like this, with the AI, they still aren't lenient in that way. You know, you indicate and you show them that you're trying to get out, and they just don't let you out, which is something which I find a little bit frustrating more than anything, to be honest. Another issue which I'm experiencing right now is that if I go to pull away, my throttle commands the coach door. So what you'll see now is I'm actually lifting off, and what that'll do is the accelerator will make the door open and close rather than, you know, moving the bus. So that's something as well that really needs to be sorted out. Like I said, there's a few things which, you know, this game does offer, and it does a very nice job of, you know, captivating the whole holiday sort of vibe, you know, tourist attraction, especially with some of the the smaller buses anyway. You know, they've done a very good job of capturing the essence of that. But obviously that doesn't take away the little bugs and issues which people have currently. So just take that into consideration, really. So you'll see here in front of me the AI. So one's letting one go and the other one's letting that one go, but they're not actually moving. So that's something else that really needs to be touched and polished up. And it can, you know, especially being in these larger buses, you know, it definitely makes turning these, you know, and then they decide to move. So, you know, it's definitely something that they really need to improve upon. You know, it doesn't happen too often, and obviously with the ability to change the vehicle density, you can obviously limit that from happening, but you shouldn't really have to. Now, as far as I'm aware, they're continuing to improve the game. The textures need a little bit of work, you know, like the sun blind here, the flickering, you know, there's a lot of that happens within the game. Some could say it's negligible, but you know, when you're driving these long routes, the last thing you need is a sun blind flicking in your face, you know, every second. So that's definitely something to take in mind, but obviously, you know, later down the line, that should be polished up, ironed out, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, as far as content goes for this game, there's an awful lot to do. Like I said, you know, you got the different services, but not only that, the office that you get and the employees that you can hire. You know, you can buy snacks, you know, Wi-Fi, insurance, basically all the logistical stuff that you would expect from a busing game, essentially. But even that system is extremely clunky, and it does take a little while to kind of get your head around it. Once you do get your head around it, it's absolutely fine. But you know, with this game being so early on, there are still a few things which, you know, could be improved upon, could work better, but I'm sure over time, like I said, it'll be fixed and improved upon, with a bit of luck at least. Now, I know as far as people saying that, you know, this game's riddled with bugs and stuff like that, and it really depends. It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's 50-50. You know, you will get some people say that there is and there isn't, and it's really hard to, you know, to make a confirmed choice, you know, on whether you should buy this game or not. Now, if I was to give my thoughts, my opinions and my reviews based on my experience so far, you know, this game, I like it personally. Now, despite the bugs which happen within the game, like I said, the foundation is really, really strong, and I can see the potential within this game. It has fantastic potential. Whether they act upon it is a different story. Their reputation for doing these things definitely isn't one of the best in terms of making an informed decision on whether you should buy this game or not. But if I was to give, if I was to give my general verdict, I'd say yeah, I'd say go for it. I mean, despite the bugs which are in the game, some of them are very minute. I mean, the game save losses and things like that is definitely something which needs to be improved upon, but hopefully it is over time. But yeah, if I was to say, would you buy this? If you're a, you know, a bus enthusiast, if you're somebody that likes driving, essentially, you've got a wheel, you know, steering wheel, all that kind of stuff, it's definitely a nice, pleasant experience driving these open roads, experiencing busing in a new perspective on the island. And they do a very good job of captivating, like I said, the essence of the holiday vibe, you know, and it definitely feels immersive in that department. Like I said, there are a few things which let the game down, but we can only hope that stuff, you know, improves and we get somewhere with it. You know, they get somewhere with it later down the line. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Like I said, if there's any questions that you may have regarding this game, you know, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below, and I will try my absolute best to help you guys out. Like I said, this is a little bit of a review in progress, but I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and obviously turn that bell notification on. That way you don't miss updates, live streams, etc. There's a lot of games that I cover, so yeah. But I appreciate you guys watching. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you in the next one.